This podcast may contain views and opinions which are those of the hosts and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any local agency, organization, union, employee, or company, including the podcast.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to Off the Clock Shop Talk. Thank you guys for tuning in every week, as we say. I just want to jump right into the show. Let's just get into it. I got a little bit of a contract update for you guys. I know, there's a lot of clamoring out there. The updates are out there, just so you guys know. If you don't have the Teamster UPS app, for those UPSers out there, you need to download it and you need to update it. If you have already downloaded it, there are some updates on there. So, update the app. It's been refurbished a couple times, and they give contract updates, I believe, weekly, right?
Every Monday. And
there's some special updates on there that pop up every now and then. So if you have your notifications on, you can see all that stuff. But I did want to give you guys somewhat of an update. So the Western Supplemental is basically done. Obviously, there's some economic items hanging out there. There's some good stuff on there. I'm going to wait for the IBT to release what has been, TA'd as far as that goes.
Yeah.
But there's some good stuff on there. Great stuff for part-timers. If you're a part-timer, I hope you guys are excited because this contract is really geared towards you guys and towards keeping you guys happy and making sure that you have a pathway to get to full-time if that's what you want, and to really take care of you guys. Sean O'Brien has kept some promises and just really hammered for you guys. So I will say that the Southwest riders, they're 95% done, 98% done. There are a couple items hanging out there that are big economic items. I'll just say that. As far as everything else, for the most part, we're all hammered out. Obviously, some good stuff in there for feeder guys and for pathways into feeder and a couple things. So I just want you guys to know I hear a lot of members saying, "Oh, well, we're being kept in the dark and we don't know what's going on." As these things are worked out, they haven't even gone into the national negotiations yet. They were supposed to go in 2 weeks ago. Sean O'Brien, everyone was out in D.C., and Sean O'Brien basically put those on hold until all the riders and supplementals are done. So they're going to go in this Monday, which when you watch this will be released next Friday, but when you watch this show, the previous Monday, they'll have basically hammered out the rest of the supplementals. So everything should be done. Next week they will start, or I should say this week, they will start national negotiations, and we'll see what happens. We're in it for a fight. Actually, I like something that Victor Monero said, you will be uncomfortable at times. You will be taken out of your comfort zone. Yeah. You will be tested a little bit, but those are negotiations. That's what a fight is. Negotiations are fighting for better wages, better benefits, keeping stuff that we have that the company wants to take away. So we're in a fight, right? I mean, that's what this is, really. So in a fight, you're uncomfortable sometimes. That's just the way it is. So I hope you guys understand that. And, I like the updates that they've been giving on the app because it really keeps our strategies close to home. And I hope you guys understand that and what that is. And we're trying to get the information out controlled so that the company doesn't know exactly what we're doing. And I'm not going to, get on here and tell you, hey, this is what we're doing in negotiations. This is the strategy. We don't want the company to know that shit. So just so you guys understand what's going on, please download that app. It's important. We'll go ahead and put a picture up of the app. Go to if you have iOS or Android, go to the App Store. It's there. The Teamsters UPS app. So download it, please. Get a little bit more detailed. They kind of go over what's been done for the week, TAs, sticking points, all that stuff. I don't want you to be, confused. It's not like we're getting everything that we want. We've talked about this. A negotiation is a negotiation. You sit there and you might start here and the company starts here and you kind of work your way to the middle somewhere, right? But we are getting a lot of stuff. Promises are being kept. Sean O'Brien is really hammering. And, Mark Davison in the West, Victor Moneros in the Southwest, just really hammering down on the company trying to get these benefits and these good things for you guys. So I hope you guys are excited. I'm actually excited about this contract. I want to tell you everything, but we'll hold off a little bit and we'll let that information come out controlled from the IBT. But that's your contract update for now. We're in a fight, guys, and it's not over yet. We got till July 31st, and if they want to see the power of the Teamsters, they're going to be sorely mistaken. So I hope you guys are ready. I hope you guys, are saving your money, doing your things to prepare yourself in case you have to withhold your labor. And that isn't going to be because of us. That's going to be because of the company. If the company wants to fight and put you out on strike, then so be it. But nobody wants that. We're not itching for a strike. We're itching for a good contract. That's what we want. So there's your contract update for the week, guys. I hope you guys are staying involved and informed. I hope you guys are coming to the rallies, going to, the events. Just pay attention, okay? That's what I'm going to ask of you.
Yeah,
you got anything,
definitely.
George?
No, you covered everything. So I think we're good.
All right. Well, so that being said, without further ado, we do have a guest this week, and I'm excited to bring this one on. It's been a long time coming. We like to highlight your leadership within the union, and I'm referring to Local 952 today because we've had some other STs from other locals. We've had, some different people on, but this one is exciting for me because this is my vice president. I'd like to introduce Danny Herbert. What's going on, Danny?
What's up, Danny?
Thanks for having me here, fellas. I appreciate it.
Of course, man.
That was a hell of a UPS report. I don't even work there, and I'm excited just from your report. So, yeah, that's great news, man. Eric and those guys was over there doing a great job.
Yeah,
It really put pressure on them, and Sean is going to step in the fourth quarter and tie it all up. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. So,
right. That's
so that's great news, bro.
Yeah, that's the strategy. I'm glad, just watching it, being able. It's the first UPS negotiations that I've had the privilege of being involved in and kind of just seeing, helping out where I can. But it just to see the process and see what these guys go through and what I've been going through, honestly, to fight for you guys out there, to fight for myself, because at the end of the day, if I ever leave here, I can go back to the truck, right? I always tell everybody, I'm not disconnected from what's going on, because at the end of the day, this is my contract too. It's our contract.
Our contract.
So it's been great just watching these people, how much work they put in. I will say that there's been a couple nights where we've gone into the next day. In fact, on last Tuesday, which would be 2 Tuesdays ago for you guys watching, we negotiated from 8 a.m. to 9:30 a.m. the following day. And that's just the work that's being put in. The previous night we went till midnight, and it just, when we were in DC, we went till 3 a.m. Like, the work that these guys are putting in to fight for you, I hope you guys appreciate it, and I can't tell you either way, but like I said, it's amazing to watch. This is a lifestyle. We were talking a little bit off camera about, like, what's a weekend, right?
Yeah.
When's the last time we've seen a real weekend, right? But, I mean, those are the kinds of things. This is a lifestyle, right? You got to really love what you do, and if you don't, this job will swallow you whole. It just is what it is.
Definitely.
Right?
And to hear you speak on that passion, looking at it from your perspective, I too got to witness that in the grocery negotiations. Albertsons had never been pushed to the brink of bargaining the way this administration did. So,
wow.
Yeah, we were doing similar, probably not to the level of UPS, but yeah.
Well, I mean, I've heard some contracts. I mean, not just the Albertsons contract, but I've heard some crazy stories about white paper contracts, which are, if you don't know out there, are just, smaller companies. You might be bargaining with just a single sole proprietorship, right? And they're not maybe national company, but they're a medium-sized company or whatever. They got some employees, and I've heard of them going 2 days in a row, basically. That's crazy, but. Wow. The work that's put in that I've seen through, your administration, through Eric's administration, really is just, it's amazing, man. And that's not lost on you. you put in a lot of work here, and we appreciate you. Like I said, you're my vice president, so I hold you in high esteem. But so let's just jump into it, man. So who is Danny Herbert? Where did you come from? What do you do?
Yeah, Danny Herbert, born and raised in the city of Compton. Played a little basketball for Compton High School, and yeah, I mean that's where I'm out of. Got into the grocery industry 28 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, I was a order selector there.
How did that come about? How'd you get into?
Had a father-in-law that was working there, and
Okay.
I had kids by his daughter, and he got me a job, and
Wow.
and of course I'm fresh off the street, so
A little rough around the edges.
oh man, I had got fired 3 times at
Really?
yeah,
Wow.
3 times, and the union got me back.
So what union were you under at the time?
Local 630.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Local
that's where we
630.
came from. Local 630. We came over to 952 in the merger. Probably around my 15th year is when I first really got into the labor movement. One of the shop stewards there at the time kind of saw something in me, kind of saw how people was gravitating around me, kind of saw how people was, plus at that time I was heavily into riding motorcycles, and I was a vice president of, bike clubs, and
He's like, where you're going to fit perfect.
yeah, man, he saw something in me that I probably didn't see in myself as far as leading members. Yeah, the person name is James Lopez. Yeah, he actually approached me.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't know him at all. So he approached me and told me that I should run for shop steward, and kind of gave me the ins and out and threw me in the fire and let me.
That's usually how it goes, right?
Yeah.
You get thrown in the fire and you learn.
And the crazy thing is, at that time, I had that union bug, so I was trying to do everything, strike lines.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
Volunteer work. And the crazy thing is, back then I had actually met Eric.
Really?
Yeah, doing a No on 32 campaign.
Oh, okay.
Proposition 32.
I hear a lot about that, man. And I will admit that I wasn't really involved at that time, but I hear a lot of people that are, to be honest, that have just moved up the ranks.
Yeah.
They all met during this whole Prop 32 thing, and I'm like, man, that's crazy.
Vic.
Yeah, Victor.
Yeah, that was my first time meeting Vic, Louie, and all of those guys, and yeah, that was my first real introduction.
Well, that's cool. And I got to say, look, what James saw in you then, I see in you now, which is a trip. But I got to say, man, your members absolutely love you.
Appreciate that.
I mean, I trip out. We go to, we've been to Albertsons a couple times, right? And it's like I'm walking with the damn celebrity. I don't know what's going on, man. I'm like, damn, Danny.
Yeah, man.
Who are you for real?
It's just a lot of good people, man.
Yeah.
952 actually has a lot of good quality members, man. When we transferred over to Irvine, the reception from those guys was actually good, and I would have anticipated it being a little abrasive because I was at Albertsons when two locals merged. Vines when two locals merged, and it was rough for about 10 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but over in Irvine, the merger, and we were upset. We were mad that we had to come over here, and so we came over with a little edge on our shoulders. And, But after a while, the members got behind us. They had a shop steward election. We were only there for about a year and a half at that time, so I'm like, how are we going to have an election against stewards that's been here for 40-something years? We just came. Yeah. But before the election came, I was already doing a whole lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Getting the respect of the members. I think this is shop talk, right?
Yeah. Shop talk.
So, yeah, at that time, man, I had put on one of the biggest boycotts at Albertsons.
Really?
Yeah, we boycotted a luncheon. Company spent like $35,000 on food, and I had told everybody, nobody go, nobody eat. And that was so powerful. It resonated all the way over to Stater Brothers, and everybody heard about it. Yeah.
Wow, that's
They
crazy.
called me in the office, ready to make an example out of me. I'm like, man, how can I get fired 4 times? Yeah.
Get fired for talking to members.
But the members respected that, and when the election time came, they ended up voting me in as a shop steward. So I actually was a steward for about 10 years.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, before I came down to the local.
So, I mean, I don't know if you want to speak on it, but a little. I think that for me being part of 952, right, and I was part of 952, been 21 years this year. You know, I saw everything kind of change during that era, right, when 630 kind of merged in, when you guys came, I should say, when Albertsons merged in with Vaughn's. I saw you guys came in, and just to see a way more active breed of Teamsters, you know, and it just wasn't, it was something that 952 was lacking, and I really got to say that you guys, it was like an injection of you know, epinephrine or something, right? We just got shot, and since then, the locals just kind of changed, right? I mean, it took a while, maybe, you know, a lot of the grocery guys I know got together that ran for steward, like you say, but like something we were talking off camera was like we needed some fresh blood, right? We needed something we were just missing, and you guys coming in and kind of invigorated everything, and here we are. Right? Yeah, busy as hell now.
That's crazy, man. That's
Be
crazy.
careful what you ask for.
you know what's a little weird is that when so they had a shop steward election over in Brea, and James Lopez had the most votes over in Brea, and in the election in Irvine, I ended up being the steward with the most vote.
Wow, okay.
Now, you know what's weird is that me and James came down and applied for a job under the old administration.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he didn't hire either one of us. He ended up hiring the guys who came in second at both of the facilities.
I wonder why that was. I'm just saying, I mean, you know, it was something we talked about off camera, but the whole face of the local has kind of changed. The whole just what the local is and who was in power and whatnot. And we make it a point here, we don't like to talk shit, you know, at least not directly. We might talk about the administration, the previous administration and what was going on at the time. But as far as individuals, we're not here to really bash anybody. We just really, I mean, it's amazing to see the change.
Yeah.
That's really what it's all about. We're just amazed.
And which was another reason that I even brought him up, because I always use that as an example over in Irvine. You know, whether you care for the administration or not, if you got passion to fight for the members, it don't matter who's sitting there.
Yeah.
If you can put yourself in a position to help the members, it don't matter who's the ST. And that was the mindset that me and James had when we came down there. So.
Well, look at the changes.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Vice President James Lopez is now an IBT rep for the package or for the warehouse division. He's you know, a BA, just to see what you guys have done, and it's pretty amazing. So let's get a little bit back into your story. So you become you become a shop steward. What next?
So I ended up getting a couple phone calls from some stewards out of Brea and Irvine. I didn't really know these guys at the time. James Placentia, and saying, "Hey, we met up with Eric and John at a park. You know, we were trying to put this administration together, and you know, a couple of us dropped your name." So they like gave me the heads up. I'm like, "Oh, you know, that's nice of y'all." I didn't know Eric or John. I had worked with Eric with John in Irvine, but he was in Santa Fe Springs, but he was a driver.
Yeah.
And I was in the warehouse, so I really didn't know John at all.
Yeah. And I got to say, it's the same, and I've seen that maybe it's just something with the Albertsons guys, but it's the same thing, man. With John, it's like I'm walking with the damn celebrity if I walk into Albertsons. Everybody loves that guy. Everybody loves you. It's a trip, man. It is a trip, I got to say.
Yeah, man, and that was the introduction. They asked us to stand behind them over in Irvine. I put it on my shoulders in that warehouse, and yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, so, you know, I'm kind of curious. You talked about 4 terminations. One thing we do on the show is termination stories. So let's why don't you pick one?
Oh,
we don't have to go through all of them.
Yeah, you don't do all of them.
Pick your favorite termination story. Let's
So remember the scene in Friday when the guy got fired on his day off? He was like, "How you get fired on your day off?"
Fired on your day off.
What are you doing still in boxes?
So
Building the clubhouse.
So I goes up to Vaughn's on my day off. You know, we had a credit union at our branch.
Okay.
I was a member, so I goes up there and just to run to the ATM. I pulled up in a parking that was red. And security came over and was waiting for me by my car. And I just ran in there, made the transaction coming back. And he got all in my face with his fingers saying, I told you about parking here.
Man.
You do this all the time. And that wasn't a good idea. I chased him all the way to the guard shack, and the drivers was teasing him. But the next day I got to work, the shop steward told me, hey, don't even clock in, because the moment you clock in, they're going to walk you out for threatening bodily harm.
But you were off the clock.
That's my wildest one.
Yeah, but he also like was aggressive and was like
Yeah.
in your face.
Yeah.
Like at some point, you got to be like, I'm going to defend myself.
Yeah.
If you touch me with that finger, I'm going to break that finger.
Speaking
Well,
of
I
Friday,
mean,
who's top flight security of the world?
I may be a little light on how I approach the guard shack, but, had a few choice words for him. But
I gotta say, guards, weird at UPS. We walk through guard shack too at all of ours, at least in our jurisdiction. And every time we get a new security guard, every
single time,
they come in with top flight security motives. You know what I mean? And I'm like, what is going on?
I don't get it.
They take their job real serious,
By the
and
book.
it takes a couple weeks, for them to kind of I understand
Loosen
where
up.
I'm out now.
Yeah.
Just scan me and let me walk in, man. You don't need to be all telling people, directing people, hey, stand out there, do this. No.
Yeah, I
That's
hate
not
that.
what this is. So there's a bunch of grown men there.
but that's my wildest story.
So how'd you end up getting your job back?
Paul Kennedy was our business agent at that time. His name ring bells, probably not in a positive way, for how he ended up being removed. Yeah, I mean, that was my first introduction to seeing what the union does and how powerful they are. And I'm sitting there, 6'4", 240 pound black man. I was muscular and young at the time, and I was powerless.
Yeah.
I was totally powerless. And I watched Paul Kennedy sit there with management. He was a little thin, white guy, kind of short. And he just sat there with a straight face and didn't really listen to nothing management had to say. And I'm sitting here watching him with mercy on my face. I'm like begging for mercy. I'm like, and after management finished talking, and this is so memorable, man, and this, I'm going to always remember this. Paul Kennedy told him, let me tell you what you're going to do. You're going to apologize to Mr. Herbert. You're going to give him back his job. You're going to pay him for any time. And I'm sitting here watching this. And I'm like, that's union power. That was my first true example.
All right. Well, so let's talk about, I guess, the administration after the park meeting. You go, or they say they threw your name out there. How did you get involved in union stuff?
So we campaigned extensively. John and Eric more so did the majority of it. But I would go at it with them whenever I could, and it was a little rough hitting a lot of these companies because I remember it like it was yesterday. All the same companies we have now, we were out there holding up signs and asking people to support us, and But I remember I used to be on my way to work sometime. I pull over at the gas station, and I see John and Eric at the gas station. Yeah, we going out campaigning. Like, man. But yeah, they definitely put the work in, man. It's been pretty interesting from day one.
Yeah.
To bring a guy 28 years out of the warehouse, give him a laptop and a cell phone, and
that is weird, right?
Whole shift in
and
the
an
dynamics.
office,
Yeah.
and go represent these members.
You're like, what do I got to do now?
But over time, you start adjusting. We all do as humans.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely. I like to bring up an analogy that one of the STs actually from Arizona. I don't know if you know her. Her name's Carla Schumann.
No.
She's the ST. They have statewide jurisdiction, Local 104. But one of the analogies she brought up, and I actually was just talking to another steward about it the other day. One of the analogies she brought up, it's like you're in a room, right? And meaning like you're a member, okay? You see a door and you're like, oh yeah, that's the closet. You know what it is. It's the closet. Yeah, I know exactly what a shop steward does, right? I see them. They help me file grievances. They answer the phone. Like, you know, I know what they do. And then you go to that closet door and you open it up and it's a fucking warehouse. You know what I mean? You're like, holy shit. And I remember doing that as a steward and not understanding how much my phone was going to blow up, how much I was going to be dealing with issues, how much extra work it was going to be on top of doing, you know, as a driver doing my route, you know. So it was like, wow, that's crazy. And then, you know, again, you're in that room or say in that warehouse, whatever, you see another door and it's like, oh yeah, I know what's there. You know, I know what being a business agent is like. I see what they do. They come to the building. They probably have it easy, this, and that. And then you open that door and you're like,
The door. That's a good analogy.
Like, I just found the break room in the warehouse.
Yeah, man. It's a lot more work than I thought, being a business agent.
yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't even imagine, you know, a lot like Eric, right? He went from being a longtime shop steward and went to ST, and same thing for you. You know, you were a longtime shop steward. I mean, you weren't a business agent, right?
Yeah,
you had applied.
Eric took the what they call it, the accelerator course.
Yeah.
He went from shop steward to ST overnight.
Yeah.
He jumped like 4 positions.
No, that's actually not fair to say because he did run 2 or 3 times before then. So he definitely.
And he was very involved in union stuff prior. Yeah. But I mean, still, you think that you have a grasp on what's going on and what people do, and you really don't know, you know. And I try to get that across to my members because, you know, we've been gone for 7-8 weeks now, you know, in negotiations and panel and not really being able to get to the building. I got members that are upset. I got shop stewards that are upset with me. And like, I really want to impress upon these members and these shop stewards even, like, dude, you don't understand. You don't understand what we're doing, what we're going through, like the amount of immense work and stress and everything that comes along with this job. Like, you really don't understand. In fact, we took a shop steward, a longtime shop steward. This guy's been a shop steward for, I want to say like 30 years.
Wow.
Like, I mean, forever. His name's Mark Packer. I don't think he'll have an issue with me saying his name. You know, we took him to negotiations, and he's been sitting through negotiations with us, and he went through a couple of those days. He was there with me when we were there till 9:30 in the morning, you know, from 8 o'clock the previous day. And he actually told me yesterday, believe it or not, he said, dude, if anybody ever tells you that you aren't doing enough, you send them my way. He's like, I'm going to straighten them up real quick because I'm involved and I see everything you guys are doing and what, like, he's like, you send them my way because this is insane. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
Yeah, man, that UPS, man, that's just our 3 or 4 years in office. From what I can see, that is something special. The BAs, man, the work that y'all do. Of course, I'm not just saying this because I'm on the pod, but you and Sabas and all of our BAs, man. But golly, man, the grievances.
Yeah.
You know, there's no company you can compare to that gets that many grievances that often.
Nope.
And hats off to y'all, bro.
Yeah. And that's one of the things that's getting fixed in negotiations. I mean, not that this is a contract update, but I know that we got a lot of members that are like, dude, my grievances are taking forever. You know, it's been 6 months or whatever. And I feel you. Like, I understand that. Like, you know, as a member, you want your stuff to be processed already, you know, and it's hard with the current system. It's slow and it's bogged down, but you know, it's getting fixed. Let's just say that. I will put that out there. It's getting fixed. We're trying new stuff. It's crazy just to try do the same thing over and over, right? That's supposedly the definition.
That's the definition
of insanity,
yeah.
Right? To do the same thing over and over and expect a different result. So we're changing it. We're trying to get these members' grievances heard faster. It's a lot, man. I mean, I have 500-600 open grievances, you know, and I talked to the other BAs too, you know, and they're like, oh yeah, I processed 5 grievances last month, you know, and I'm like, 5 grievances? I'm like, I get like
I did 12
grievances
yesterday.
a week.
Wow.
you know, and I'm like, damn, dude, and it's not a knock or not a complaint. It is what it is. That's the system. What we're given, you know. So
hey, you know, when you brought up our lack of weekends off, and I mean, how many vacations we've had to throw away at the end of the year because we just never had time to take them.
Yeah.
But when you go around the members and see how grateful they are for what you've done, and you know, you can't win everything.
No.
But they show appreciation just for your effort. And that's all the members ever really want.
That's what they want.
Yeah, just let us at least see some effort.
And it does, you know, that one member you might get and you fix a long time problem that he's been having, or you represent him and get his job back or whatever, and just to see his appreciation and to see him, you know, thankful and happy with what you're doing for him, that makes it all worth it.
Priceless.
That's
bro.
it.
Yeah.
It really does.
Those are our shining moments.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whenever we get a chance to relish in something like that, it always feels good because we're never going to get a pat on the back. You know that.
No. That just doesn't happen.
No, that doesn't happen.
No.
It just doesn't. But
That
so
doesn't
let's get a little bit back into.
Yeah.
So what exactly did you do? You said you picked orders, but how did your progression through
So
the warehouse
in
go?
my 28 years with the company, I had one of the most senior jobs there, which is the same as you. If you know we ever had to go back to our job, I would go back to being a loader.
Okay.
Which is one of the preferred jobs in the warehouse. So
Nice.
but I had done everything from picking orders, which is the hardest job there, but that's the job that you have to get hired and start at. Mm-hmm. Everybody picks orders.
Yeah.
And from picking orders and that's kind of my message when I be talking to the guys when I go over there. You know, hey, pay your dues.
Yeah.
That's what picking orders is for. Everybody that you see around you that you may feel have an easy job, they done what you are doing now.
Yeah.
So your time will come. And I remember when I was a young shop steward and I wanted to fight for justice for mid-seniority people, right? I remember it, bro.
Yeah.
And the senior guys would come to me like, Danny, that's not how seniority works.
Not how it's done.
Your time will come. And I had to learn that because I was listening to him say it. I just couldn't see it. I was like, no, equality now. That was my mindset.
I want that job now.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's rough too. You know, we run into situations where management might make a decision or whatever, and they're like, oh no, well, we're going to stick this guy in this area because that's where we want him or that's where we need him right now. And you got to correct it. And you might upset that member because he's like, hey, I was in a cushy job. Like, what happened? Like, management put me here. And you got to remind him, like, dude, you got to put in your time. You got to put in your time. It's just like anything else.
That saying, right? Seniority sucks until you have it. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, man.
Exactly.
You know, and then all of the mental things that come with this job that's people don't even talk about.
Yeah.
You know, personal things going on with members. Guys you've been working with for years can get caught up in the situation. You got to represent them, and certain things come out that he may be uncomfortable about you knowing. Having best friends, guys that you know, but you got to enforce a rule that's going to go against him.
Yeah.
It's just so many scenarios.
Throws favoritism.
Yep.
Seniority throws favoritism out the window.
Yeah.
It is
but
what it
at
is.
the end of the day, they do respect you honoring the contract.
Yeah.
So
And that's really all we have to stand on. We have the contract, right? And I know that, you know, that was one of the issues that I know we dealt with at UPS through different administrations, let's just say that, you know, where there was favoritism going on and they did cater to certain groups of people.
I heard.
And, you know, having to correct that and upset some people, you know, sometimes it sucks, but you got to be like, hey, this is what the contract says. You know, and if we do everything backdoor deals and side deals and handshakes and
It's like, why even have a contract at that point?
yeah, when it comes down to it, like, what do you have to stand on? If a new manager comes in, you don't have a good relationship with them, and you can't do that handshake deal, then what do you got?
yeah.
You got nothing, right?
Yeah.
The contract's a contract. It's you know, maybe not clear, but it's clear enough, you know. And the other stuff you'll arbitrate,
Which is out of our hands.
Exactly.
Yeah, so when we came into office, I was an actual loader at that time. So, like I say, I had one of the preferred jobs. I was the lead shop steward.
Nice.
And, you know, I had beat out at that time. He was a 40-something year member there. And you would think, we know he shows up at our meetings sometime, and, you know, he probably didn't vote for this administration. I can't say for sure.
We'll bleep his name out for you.
Yeah. But, to this day, that guy he's always been respectful. We've always been cordial. Our relationship still has never changed. When I go over to the warehouse, he informs me on what's going on. And, you know.
So he's still a shop steward?
Yeah, no. He ended up just being a regular. A lot of those guys helped me, you know, and that's crazy to see guys who didn't support us but was so respectful and cordial when we came over to their warehouse.
Yeah.
You know, some of those shop stewards helped me become a better shop steward there. You know, contracts is different, man, and I had to learn that. I had to learn it, and nobody could tell me that. I had to learn it on my own. I'm going over there with the 630 contract that's the Bible.
Yeah.
This is how we did it there.
Yeah.
Y'all are doing it wrong here. That was
And those
my
are maybe
mindset.
some things that you change in negotiations, right? If you feel like it's a better way, you propose it, sit down with the company, get that language changed.
People's practice is just different. You know?
Yeah. It's like that everywhere.
And I had to learn that. But yeah, man, it's actually been a pretty interesting journey. We're all still fairly new as BAs and our positions. So I remember you had mentioned a story of that lady gave you that door opening scenario. Yeah. I remember when we first came into office, a couple BAs from different locals that told us, and this is just their theory, but now I'm trying to see, does it have any validity? They said, hey, no matter how much you think you know, it takes 5 to 6 years to become a good BA.
Yeah.
And I was like, you're talking about, I already know these contracts. I'm already cool with my members. But now, as time progresses, they starting to make a little more sense. Because when you first get in a position, you want to prove to everybody that you deserve to be there.
Yeah.
So I'm fighting everything to where my shop stewards don't even work no more. They just call me and be like, Danny, that happened. I got it. I'm on it.
You just become the singular shop steward now.
Yeah.
The other ones just give you information. You're just
they don't fight nothing no more. And yeah.
No, it's funny when I first came in, you know, the building as a business agent, and we actually the division manager came up to me and saw us and was like, "Dude, why are you guys here so much? Like, what are you doing?" And we had that mentality, man. We were just like, we'll fight anything. We'll take it on. You know, I got this. So I totally see that, and you know,
that passion is still there.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, that's still our mindset. Yeah,
you need it. You really do. It's part of this thing. It's a lifestyle, and you got to be ready for the fight, and you got to be, you know, it is what it is, man. So I kind of wanted to ask you. We discussed this with all of our guests that are kind of involved in the union stuff. But was there any other than that guy asking you to become a shop steward, was there anything that was the catalyst to you getting into union business and kind of that pushed you along?
I actually told somebody this before, and it was a joke, but it's always a little bit of truth in every joke.
Yeah. Right.
One of the many things I went to school for while I was working was one of them was bartending.
Okay.
So I goes to bartending school, learn how to bartend so I can bartend on the side. But I'm only doing it just to be in the club.
Yeah.
I didn't even need the money. I didn't even. Yeah. So, I mean.
Get numbers and working.
So what made me really want to be a steward is I was such a bad employee. I just wanted to be in a position that I can get in management facing. We're equal. And that was the main drive. I can't wait to get in a position to get back at management.
Whatever it takes, right?
Yeah,
and a lot of those stories do come, you know, you say you were a bad employee. I don't fully believe you. You're a hard ass worker. But, you know, that being said, a lot of it, you know, for me was getting messed with, right? You get messed with. And for me, when I kind of, my catalyst, I guess, for getting involved was management. I always considered myself a hard worker. I had a good work ethic, and I thought, like, I work hard for these people. And it made me proud. You know, it was a source of pride for me. And, you know, it wasn't the first time, because it happened over and over, you know, as you progress through UPS and you change positions and whatnot. But with different managers, they'll come up and just basically tell you you're not a hard worker, you know, and it wasn't that wasn't their driving motive to make you feel bad. They just want you to go faster. They don't care.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they don't care that, you know, if you're a great employee, they're going to tell you hurry up.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a business first.
Time
business
is money,
first.
right? Profits over people. That's just that's how they are.
And that's not limited to UPS.
No,
that's
not at all.
the mindset of all
Yeah.
companies.
Not at all.
You know?
So that was kind of like my driving factor when, you know, and I told the manager, dude, I work hard for you. You're going to sit here and question my work ethic? Like, really? Like, I kill myself basically for you guys. You know, I took pride in it. That's why, you know, when I was growing up young, and, you know, I grew up poor, and I was, you know, my dad was always like, hey, you're going to have to work hard in whatever you do, right? Even if you become a rogue scholar and you're you know, you say you're a lawyer or whatever, you're never going to get away from the hard work aspect of things. You aren't. If you want to be good at it, I mean, you could skate by if that's what you want to do, but really, if you want to be good at what you do and you want to take pride in it, you're never going to get away from that hard work. You're just
There it is.
That's just a little bit, you know, about me. But let's get off the work aspect of it. Who is Danny outside of work? What do you do for fun? You know, what do you do, Danny?
Yeah, those years are gone.
I guess what did you do before you became a business agent?
Yeah, I was into everything, bro. I was building motorcycles. I was winning shows. I was making centerfold in magazines.
Really?
Did you do custom work?
Yeah. I was building them from the frame up.
What kind of bikes did you build?
All Harley Davidsons.
All Harley Davidsons.
I started off with sport bikes, but sport bikes and tall guys just never look good.
It looks weird, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought the same. You know, I always wanted to ride. And I mean, I rode dirt bikes, but I always wanted to ride motorcycles. And I looked at them like, man, fat guys don't look good on street bikes. They just don't look good on street bikes, man.
I swear, every fat guy I see on a street bike, his pants are always down. You see his crack. It's not a good look.
I'm like, if I get a bike, it's going to have to be a Harley.
But he's cute up under that helmet. But yeah, that's what I was into, man. That and you know, I have a couple hobbies as far as my RC cars, and you know, I've always had passion for those. And
so what kind of RC cars? What were you talking about?
the 8 scale and 10 scale cars, and
Wow, cool.
Like the gas ones?
and electric.
Oh,
Man, I
and
had
electric.
like 15 cars, man.
Man,
Oh, wow.
that's
I was
cool.
addicted. You trying to outdo the next guy. And
And that's just sitting in your garage now, huh?
I sold a lot of them, and I still got a few of them.
Do you?
Just sitting. My kids was like, Dad, you already wore us out on that. We don't even want your stuff.
You were trying to give it to them. They're like, nah.
They're like,
yeah, man.
And I only ask because, I mean, hobby-wise, I think all my hobbies are sitting in the garage collecting dust. That's it. I
mean,
probably should sell them.
I'm old now, man. I'll be 55 soon, so it's all about.
Well,
my
you don't
kids
look it.
and
I'll
my-
tell you that
oh,
much.
man.
I'm sure everybody on the screen just went 55.
Now my hobbies is my grandkids, bro,
Yeah, that's
and,
cool,
and hanging out with my kids every now and then.
And you know, it's funny that's exactly what John Green said when he was on the show. You know, we talked about, you know, what do you do? Because time is limited now, right? It's not like before where I had my weekends or, you know, like we were talking about.
Yeah.
But time is limited, so I guess it makes you really kind of focus on what's most important. And John said it the same thing. Just, hey, my hobbies are my kids now. I take them to baseball and I do those things. And other than that, he's like, I don't get to ride horses anymore. You know, you don't.
Yeah, I mean,
sold your RC.
You guys are
collection.
still young though, man. But you know, when you get to my age, you start looking around and seeing family and coworkers and friends start to leave.
Yeah.
You know, and it makes you start just looking at things different. I mean, even my approach when I go to warehouses now, I just tell guys, look, man, it's not that serious. The company's not out to get you, and that's their mindset. Once you get that locked up in your mind,
Yeah, it's hard to get rid of it.
yeah,
For sure.
yeah.
At the end of the day, the company is just looking for profit. That's all they want. It's not you specifically. Granted, a certain manager might want you specifically, but
There's always one.
Some outliers.
You know. But for the most part, man, that's about it, man. Just trying to stay caught up, and that relationship with our members is just so important, man.
Yeah.
And I like to be able to walk into a work site and be greeted by the members. That's kind of my pat on the back.
And it's a big pack because I'm telling you, it's celebrity, man. I'm not kidding you, dude. This guy, I walked into Albertsons with him. We were at Southern Wine and Spirits. Everyone's like, Danny. We love it. Everyone's just, everybody loves Danny, man.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, man.
And I don't say that to be, in all honesty, I don't say that really to be funny. It shows the work that you've put in for these members. And that's why they love you. They know that you're going to represent them, and you have their back, and you support them 110%. You build that respect, like you said. You build that respect, and you get that for a reason. And I'm a little jealous. I'm not going to lie, man.
Thank you, brother.
That's awesome.
I'm one of the BAs with the pleasure of being on the UPS side of the office, so we're always calm and cool on our side.
Yeah, right.
I like to tease James every now and then on the other side.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, we have two little kind of wings.
Yeah,
I guess they call them.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have our little UPS side, I guess. But we have the pleasure of having the VP on our side, so that's always nice.
Yeah, it's always calm and cool on our side of the office.
Well, all right, guys, we're back, and as you see, I have put on my Teamsters jacket. We mentioned it 2 shows ago, but we want to bring it up again. We forgot to mention it in our previous show. We do have our contest, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
going
we've already
on.
got some people who already submitted into the contest.
Have they? Okay,
yeah.
so I hope you guys are watching, paying attention. We are giving away one of these jackets. It will say kind of whatever you want it to say. It could say your name. You don't have to have your name
maybe
on there. Yeah, your nickname. It can say where you're out of. If you are a shop steward, it can say shop steward on it. But this jacket is being donated by James Placentia, who's a longtime steward. So we want to throw a shout out to James. Thank you very much. The way the contest goes, all you got to do is subscribe to our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube page, and send us an email.
Send us an email, and also hashtag #FuckSabas on Instagram. And also, because I was putting up like fuck Sabas on there, you might get flagged for putting fuck. So I'm gonna put a little text here. So when you put fuck, it's F@CK. So not just fuck, because I don't want people to get kicked off of Instagram for trying to win a jacket.
I don't know if you know Danny. Sawas loves it, by the way. He's not here. He had some family.
He loves
stuff
it so
to
much
do.
he's not here.
But he does love it. Okay, so it's not we love Sawas. It's not an issue. It's just a theme of the show. So Danny, feel free. Fuck Sawas.
I can't.
That's my neighbor, bro.
I can't.
His office is right across from mine.
But I'm telling you, he loves it.
I can't imagine Danny saying that.
I know, right?
Yeah.
But feel free if you want to.
I'll text it to you.
Yeah. There you go. But like I said, the jacket, like our Facebook page, like our Instagram, subscribe to our YouTube, send us an email, #FuckSawas on an Instagram post. We'll put up the official post on there so everyone can kind of get involved, get tuned in. James Placentia came and said he wanted to donate this jacket, and kind of we're wondering how we can get more people involved. That's really all it is.
I think we do need to put a time limit on it too, though. So we don't.
Well, what do you want to do? The end of May?
Yeah, I think at the end of May. So you basically going to get a whole month, to get your submission in, and I'm sure along the way we'll think of ways for people to get extra submissions.
Okay. Well, if you're watching the shows, there could be a way for extra submissions.
So keep an eye out.
And then we'll do a drawing at the end of May at one of our shows, or we'll do it live. Fuck it.
We'll do it live.
We'll do it live. Fuck it.
Right. So
Nice.
we'll do that, and we'll, hopefully you guys can get in, because we're excited, and tell everybody else in your yard, because it's open to all union members, all, anybody really. If you're interested in union stuff, I hope you guys are watching the show. That's what we're doing. We're trying to get people more interested, involved, and also for non-union members, people that just care about the labor movement, maybe care about people. I will say that because that's what the union is there for. We're there to better people's lives. And if we're not doing our job, right? To represent people, to get people better benefits, wages, all that good stuff. That's what the union's there for. So, Danny, we'll get back to it real quick. Is there anything you would like to say to your members? I know, let's just real quick, let's go over who you cover. Who do you cover as on the business side of things? Business
Smarten
agent
Supplies.
side.
So I have Smarten. I have the liquor industry, Southern Wine and Spirits office over in Cerritos. I have Southern Wine and Spirit drivers in Riverside. I have formerly known as Young's Market, but now it's RNDC in Tustin. I have the office.
I used to deliver there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I used to deliver right there on, what street is that?
Franklin.
That's right. Right off Franklin and Walnut, kind of the main street, I guess.
Oh,
Go down Franklin.
That's a nice area of town, too.
Yeah, it's nice out there.
But I have the office and the drivers over there as well.
Nice.
And, of course, Albertsons Irvine.
Okay.
Circling back to the donation by James Placentia, I have the honor of saying he is one of my shop stewards on receiving.
Nice.
He's one of the guys who let me know that he put my name up in the hat to be a BA and run with Eric Nam. So just want to send a shout out to James.
Shout out to James. We appreciate
James,
you, brother. So is there anything that, those are the people you cover. Is there anything, you want to say to your members?
So this is probably, in my years of being involved with the union, the most proactive I've seen shop stewards ever. I've never seen it at this level when I was at 630. We had little circles moving, but not at this pace. I mean, it's just been so impressive. And now our members are getting this organizing bug and volunteering bug, and to see these young guys with all this passion in them feels good, man. How much I appreciate them, and again, I'm lucky to have some of the guys leading the pack coming out of my barns. Young Silver Montero and all of the guys from Brea. It's a handful full of them over there at CVS. Now we got another 8 guys from RNDC that's joining the group, and they doing their thing, man.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
shout out to all those guys. I mean, I see it. Silver is a big one for sure.
Really
He's
big
super
on it,
active, but there's a lot of shops. There's not just
Gary
Silver. Right?
Brockett.
it's a lot of
Brockett.
the CVS guys. The CVS Brea, I mean, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
I don't want to name a facility and feel like I'm limited to just there, but these young guys is really stepping up. They being noticed. We've been at conferences and we would hear them comment on them. That's always a good feeling.
Yeah.
And
952 members.
Yes, sir.
Putting us on the map.
Yes. And our stewards, man, has really, been kind of helping us have an easy ride as BAs, because they are more involved today. It could be because of this administration, giving them platforms in different areas for them to, and then we standing behind them. Something I always wanted when I was a steward. I always wanted a administration to stand behind me, and I always wanted some form of power in the workplace as a shop steward.
Yeah.
And they empowered our shop stewards. They always limited us that we can only fight so far, and then it's in the hands of the BA.
Yeah.
And now our shop stewards have the respect of management. They have the respect of members. And, when you're doing it for the right reasons, you can't look at it from a negative perspective. Well, I don't want to give them power. They may run against me. And that's just my mindset.
And that's one thing, like I said, I think it's really due to, Eric and your administration. The reason these stewards are able to do the things that they do and get as active and be, as hardcore with management, if you want to call it that, is because they have your back, or your backup, I should say. Is because they have the backing of the local, and they know that when the steward speaks, management knows when the steward speaks that it's the same as the BA and it's the same as the administration, the vice president, the president, and the ST, and it just.
Which is one of the perks, I would say, of having a fairly young ST.
Yeah.
He's still got a whole lot of passion to fight.
Full of piss and vinegar.
Yeah. So he always want to do something or put our members in a position to shine, and that's been good. It's actually been going in our favor. Yeah, so In the grocery industry, you know, the pink elephant in the room right now is that automation, man. It's coming. I feel like we're ahead of it because we've been preparing for it for a while at 952, but it's actually here. No different than the cameras being put in trucks.
Yeah.
You know, it was in UPS before it came to the liquor industry, but I was use UPS as a platform. You know, hey, we couldn't stop it from going in UPS. We're not stopping it at none of these other companies.
Yeah.
But,
and Eric tried hard. I mean, I got to say, look, like, you know, at least on the UPS side of things, that, you know, when we got the cameras, and I think that was like 3 years ago in June. So, you know, when that happened, Eric didn't get a lot of support, and I'll say he really didn't get a lot of support from the IBT, or nobody really wanted to give him answers, you know, what was going on. And as an ST, he did, in my opinion, he did the most that he could do. He sent letters to the IBT, sent letters to the company, cease and desist letters, you know, filed the charge. Like he's fighting. And, you know, we couldn't stop it at the time. Apparently there was some deal that was worked out with, you know, somebody high in the food chain. That it is what it is.
Backdoor deal, huh?
Yeah. You know, I'm not naming no names, or I don't know any specifics really, but that's apparently what happened, and they're there. Right.
Yeah.
And
you know,
it is what it is at this point.
I mean, you know, as long as we get together a MOU to protect our members.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
That's really what we're looking for, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is to protect the members.
No different than automation. You know, we are trying to preserve as much of that automation work as possible, and that's our goal. And I feel we're putting ourselves in a position to represent the members the best way as far as that automation.
That's good,
I think they'll be happy with what we come up with.
It's good to hear, because I know that, you know, and I've mentioned it a couple times on the show, you know, in the 1900s, early 1900s, kind of one of the causes of, you know, the Depression was the Industrial Revolution, right? I mean, people were losing jobs everywhere. You know, went from hand sewing to machine sewing, right? And we're kind of running in now to the technological revolution, where technology is coming in again. And
the whole dynamic is shifting.
Yeah, everything's kind of changing, the labor movement, and we need to do our best to protect the members from the technology, whether that's control of implementation or however, you know, we kind of attack that, because we're not going to stop. I mean, we've seen from the future, history repeats itself. We're not going to stop technological advances. We're not. It happens, and, you know, they're supposed to make life easier, and they do in some aspects, but some people don't understand that they can hurt too, you know, and they hurt labor and the labor movement, and take some of the skill out of jobs at times, and we just got to do our best to adapt, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same as animals. Stuff changes, and you either you move, you adapt, or you die. That is what it is, right?
So yeah, man. I mean, that's what we're trying to do. Just trying to collect as much data as possible. The effects of that automation being implemented, how it would affect our members in the long term. We have visited all of the facilities in the grocery industry that have automation, just collecting information. We constantly having meetings with Albertson, so we're headed in the right direction.
Oh, good.
As far as my liquor industry, this is a contract year for us. I know it may seem that UPS is overshadowing all other contracts, but our liquor industry is, for the first time, they've merged together in their proposals, and they're going to bargain together, Southern Wine and R&DC, and we anticipate getting them a good contract. We got Steve Beck is chairing that, and Mike Ferris, and
Okay.
we feel good about how this contract is going to come out as well.
Well, good, man. That's the goal, right?
Yep.
Get
That's
a
the
good
goal.
contract. The goal is
Fair
never to go
contract.
on strike. It's just
Yep.
we need that contract.
And other than that, you know, we're just continuing to our shop stewards over in Irvine, man. I mean, it's too many. I have 16 stewards there, and they're all in each department, man. They just doing their thing. You know, the crazy thing is George Ortiz, the shop steward over there, he used to be our business agent.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
me
didn't
and
even know that.
James, and when we were over at 6:30.
Okay.
Yeah, and now that's, you know, me and him have a good relationship with work and outside of work. He's helped me so far along.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point, you know. And one of the things that I will say that just about that I see as that needs to be a goal ours in the movement is to bring up the younger generation, right? And just like you said, our administration has kind of changed. We're a little younger. But it is our duty to bring up that, and to
teach them,
kind of groom them or coach them along, to get them involved and hey, maybe one day they do run against you and maybe they do win and whatnot. It is what it is at the end of the day, but it really is bigger than you. You shouldn't be fighting just because you want the power. Yeah. You should be fighting for the movement and for what's going on. And
everybody's fight is different, man.
Yeah.
Everybody's passion is different. Everybody's approach to resolving the issue is different. It doesn't mean your approach is wrong or mine is right. We just have different ways to get. For the most part, I think we're headed in the right direction, especially as an administration.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Well, so we're kind of running close on time. We did want to give a shout out. We got a special thank you to Alex Ramirez. Shout out to Alex Ramirez. He was a previous guest of ours. He was on with Gary Brockett. One of the things that he had mentioned was he loves to make beer.
He loves to make beer. And
right?
He actually gave us one yesterday. I forgot what flavor this was, though.
All right, well, we're going to try it.
We're going to try it.
On camera. Yeah. Fuck it, we'll do it live.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
So we just wanted to show our gratitude. Thank you very much. This is his passion, and he's sharing it with us. So, Danny, I know you don't drink, so, we'll cheers with the water, but we are off the clock, and we do enjoy an alcoholic beverage every now and then.
A few moments later.
Well, let's try this. Cheers,
Super
Danny.
excited for this.
We are off the clock. Thank you for coming on.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. I also want to end it by saying how proud I am of you brothers, man. Putting this on is being talked about all throughout our hall. It's being talked about at some of our barns, and just the fact that y'all came up with this idea yourself and from the ground up and saw a way to reach out and connect with our members, and it's been going good.
Well, we appreciate the support.
Definitely
really
stay
do.
with it, man. Outside of that, this brother's a hell of a BA too.
He really is.
I'm trying.
He really is.
I mean, you might ask some of my members; they might disagree with
I'm
you.
probably one of the members that speak the least out of our administration, but I see everything, and I see the work y'all out there doing, man. Continue that, though, bro.
Well, we appreciate it, brother. We do. We definitely appreciate the support, and like you mentioned earlier in the show, sometimes this can be a thankful job. So for me, that means a lot. Coming from my vice president, that means a lot to me. So I really appricate that. And Alex, this is delicious.
This is dope.
Nice. This is delicious.
This is so cool.
Nice. It's got a kick of some,
a little like
habanero.
That's
what it is.
The habanero,
habanero,
one.
right?
Oh, it's cool.
So this is delicious. Thank you very much.
Got these beer aficionados in here.
And look, we will end the show on that note. Thank you guys for tuning in.
I got one more thing.
What's that?
So Medieval Times is still on strike. They've been on strike since February 11th. That's almost 3 months now. So they're doing another strike event May 7th, 12:30 to 8 p.m. at the Buena Park location in California. That's 7662 Beach Boulevard, Buena Park, 906. I'll put it right here. I forgot.
Support those guys.
Go
support the labor movement.
Go show up. Wear your gear. Wear your union gear, and go help them win their fight to a fair contract.
Nice.
Like I said, we'll end the show on that note, but I want to say very much thank you. We appreciate you for coming on, Danny.
Thank you for having me, brother.
For taking your time. It's been awesome. Hopefully we can have you on again someday. That would be nice. Maybe give a little update on that contract, that liquor contract that's coming up. You know what I mean? Yes. So we thank all you viewers. Like, subscribe, share, all that stuff. Instagram, ocst.952 on Instagram. Email
ocst.0000@gmail.com. Put in whatever you want in there for the submissions for the jacket.
Submissions. Get
that in there. You want to put
Fuck
Saba shit in there?
Jacket.
Put that in there too.
All right. Well, thank you guys again for tuning in. Appreciate you guys every week. With that, we're out.
Out.